Welcome students of Form 3. This is my first video about Chapter 5 and also about Caribbean diversity. And I believe it is not Chapter 5, but I believe actually Chapter 2. And at the end of this topic, you will be able to account for, isso que significa cuenta di, yeah? Tell about, explain the cultural diversity of the Caribbean region. So look at the verb, that's always very important. Account for the cultural diversity of the Caribbean region. So that's our goal, es kita nos meta. Yes? So when we look, do una cuenta, that was the word actually. So this is the goal that we have to achieve at the end of this topic actually. Well, what is culture? The culture of a country is shown by many things, including the customs, custom bernan, ceremonies, fe, religionan, festivalan, música, come, dress, idioma that can be found in that place. So when we look at Curacao, it's about our architecture, nos construcción, e maniera di construcción. It's about our music and religion, tambour for instance. It's about nos idioma, papiamento, and it's also about, for instance, our hairstyles, braiding it or weaving it or whatever. And I know I don't have that hairstyle, but it is mostly the customs of the island actually. Yeah, so these things are examples of culture. Things you do, the bandera, the customs, what you eat, for instance, what you believe in, special festivals, Cantado Mayor, I believe, and the Tumba Festival, for instance, Dia de Bandera, customs, what do you do when you see each other, religion, and so on. So all of these things are examples of culture. Yes, those are examples of that. So this concept shouldn't be abstract anymore. Yes, the culture of a country is shown by the things you see here: architecture, music, language, the things you do with your hair. Those are examples of culture. In our region, we have something we call cultural diversity. So our region is very cultural diverse. Diverse means there's not just one thing, but multiple things actually. Yeah, diversidad cultural. I don't know if this is a word. Yeah, I will look it up in a dictionary in the meantime. But diversity means that not just one thing, but there are multiple things actually. People who come from the same part of the world and share the same culture are known as an ethnic group. Yeah, my ethnicity is Dutch. Yeah, many of you are Latinos or Latinas. That's your ethnicity. Yeah, and some of you are born in Lebanon. A few of you, your ethnicity is Lebanese or Arabic. Yeah, some of you come from Madeira, perhaps, and their ethnicity is Portuguese or from Madeira. Yeah, so you have different ethnicities, and if you come from the same part of the world, if you come from the same part of the world, you are named an ethnic group. Yeah, diversiteit, divers, differente, diverso, diversidad. Yeah, so the word in Papiamento actually would be diversidad. Diversidad, actually. Okay, if these ethnic groups, what we're talking about, if ethnic groups from different parts of the world come to live together in one area, and aspects of their different culture are evident, nos por mira esse aqui, we can see them, different cultures, in our country, like we can see them in Curacao. We say that that area or country or territory has cultural diversity, diversidad cultural. When aspects of their different culture are evident, we can see them, we can hear them in music, we can taste them into the food, then we have something, nos llama es aquí diversidad cultural. Culture diversity. That's a pretty important concept actually. And you see here, these kids are of different ethnicities. Yes, perhaps some of these kids is from the Caribbean, perhaps some of these kids is South Asian, perhaps some of these kids are European. But it is clear in this group there is cultural diversity actually. Yes, and when we look at our island, this is from the Censo from last year. We see on our island we have people from the Netherlands, we have people from the Dominican Republic, so the Netherlands, Dominican Republic, we have people from Venezuela, we have people from Colombia, and we have also people that are born elsewhere. Elders geboren, dan elsewhere actually. Yeah. So when we look at Curacao, we see we have cultural diversity. And in this schedule, there are not even people from Madeira or even people from, I don't know, from Germany or Belgium. There are also people from Belgium living here, also people living from Madeira, people living from Lebanon, and they're not even in this diagram or in this graph actually. Yeah, but we have a cultural diverse island in which many different cultures actually live. Culture diversity. The longer these different ethnic groups live together, the longer they live together, so for hundreds of years, some groups like the Dutch and the Curaçao live here for hundreds of years, the Venezuelans and the Colombians live here for hundreds of years, African people have lived here for hundreds of years, the more the cultures mix. So during the years, yeah, e gruppo differente da mezcla. They mix together. I believe mix is actually mezcla. But if you can help me, Midden-Oosten, mixen, mezcla. All right, yeah. So, gruppo differente da mezcla. Gruppo differente etnico da mezcla junto. They mix together. And as this happens, a new culture, and this is very important, develops. A Caribbean culture that is a mix of elements of the different ethnic groups of his people. So from all those different... hi, can you close the door? Thank you very much. From all those different elements, you see that a new culture, as it were, is created from those different elements. Yeah. So these different elements create one different Caribbean culture, actually. Yeah, from the elements from the Dominican Republic, from the elements of Haiti, from the elements of Venezuela, from the elements of Europe, the Dutch, you create a new Caribbean culture. Yeah, so a Caribbean culture is forming that is made up from elements of the different ethnic cultures of his people. Yeah, and this Caribbean culture is something new. That's key on Koinobo. Yes, so I hope this is clear. If you have questions, you also can ask below, of course. Okay, a new culture develops, a new Caribbean culture. Okay. As these groups come together, a new Caribbean culture develops itself, forms itself. But what you also see happening is that some people are tolerant and other people are also intolerant. Tolerance means is less than accepting, but you tolerate each other. In Hollandes, non se say verdragen, en niet pensen is een kidding papimento ta tolerare. Yeah, can I finish my video? Thank you. Wow. My God, man. Okay. Tolerance. Tolerance significa tolerar. You tolerate each other. You tolerate each other. Tolerar means less than actually accepting each other. It means less than living together. But you do tolerate that the other exists. Yeah? E tolerar, that ding is aqui. Tolerate. Tolerancia, tolerar, tolerante. Yeah? E differente patterns cultural. Yeah? So that's what you see here. So, it is not surprising there are many different cultural patterns within the region. It means different religions, different languages, different ways of life, different cooking styles, and we have a diversity of cultures within the Caribbean. But the challenge Yeah, the uitdaging, the challenge is here that those people have to live alongside one another. That's actually pretty important. So we all want to be free to enjoy and celebrate our own culture, and that's good. But we have also a lot of other cultures living besides us. And this is also like what forms a challenge because a lot of people are not tolerant. And to take it a step further, they do not accept other cultures. Yes. So this is the thing. Yes. So we have different cultural patterns, different ways of life, different religions, different languages. We have a diversity of cultures. Yes. These are like exciting features that we have a lot of different cultures in the Caribbean, but it also is a challenge. Ja, it's also een uitdaging. Ita een redo or een redo. Een uitdaging, a challenge actually means, I think papimentu, a challenge, uitdaging, reto. Sta un reto grande. It's the greatest challenge of the Caribbean. To live alongside one another. We're people, your neighbor believes in Allah, you believe in nothing. You eat at 5 o'clock, your neighbors eat at 8 o'clock. You speak Spanish, your neighbors speak Dutch. Yeah? Living alongside each other is a big challenge of the Caribbean. Yeah? And in a healthy society, that's the idea, citizens can appreciate different cultures and allow people from different cultures to live alongside each other. So a culture can be healthy. Not only a person can be healthy, but also a culture can be healthy. That's what we see. Living alongside each other is a challenge, un reto. Have to be able to tolerate different kinds of eating, tolerate different kinds of living, tolerate different kinds of religion. And we also have to manage with how to live alongside each other with people who are very different from us, actually. Yes, this is part one of a two-parter. So I'll finish this video in the next part of this video. If you have questions, ask them below or during class, and don't forget to subscribe, actually.